Hello and welcome back to the bench. This is episode 2 of the Airfix 176th scale Chieftain tank build. It's very much a what if, and there is quite a bit of artistic license going on here. What I'm trying to show or to suggest is that this vehicle has been taken into a research and development old barn somewhere on some MOD property. It could be anywhere in the world, and there's a few people trying out some possible new ideas and some test equipment and various other bits and pieces that my imagination can conjure up, because I've got no idea. There is no truth based on any of what you're about to see, apart from the fact that the Chieftain actually did exist. Now, having said all of that, the lower hull is complete. The digital square block camo scheme is totally fictitious, but it's something that they're trying out. And there's something slightly a little bit more different on the front end, and then you've got the traditional Berlin Brigade camo on one side. Now the wheels I need to do a little bit more work on, because they look way too clean and way too green. So yes, we will be doing some work on them. Whether I do anything here or not, I don't think so, because you're never not going to see it. Moving round to the front, a reference photo that I found shows that particular vehicle had 4 lights at the front. I presume the 2 inner lights are infrared and the 2 outers are just standard road lights. I've put in a very small slither of brass sheets, 0.25. It's the second or first splash guard for the driver. I'll put that on because I did use a little bit of plastic card, but the plastic card just looked a little bit too thick, so I've gone down to a little bit of brass sheet and popped that in. The weathering that I've done is I've just put a bit of a dirty wash over it, just to take the newness of the paint off. And I've done a little bit of panel lining just to try and make stuff pop out a little bit. There's some fuel stains, and I'm going to do some more just to accentuate what's there. Not quite sure what I'm going to do on the grills. I'm going to do something, but I'm not sure what. So that is the lower hull. Now, I've used this range of paints for the Berlin scheme. Now, I don't know if it's me or if I've done something wrong, but especially on here and a little bit on the sides of the turret Mark 1, it's still a little bit tacky. There's still a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of stickiness. I don't know if I've done anything wrong. I've miscoated it on many times. I don't know if it's my micro environment or something. I don't know. I don't think I'll be using those again. Now, for the turret, or turret Mark 1, because as you can see, I've got another one on the go. It's pretty much as the kit would have you build it, except for I've got a laser guide at the front. I've got a imaginary new style of target identification range finding device that can be used as thermo and infrared. I've created my own camouflage net using some of this, just ordinary bandage. Cut it to roughly about the length that I wanted, and then just teased it out. When I do this one, because I'm going to do the same thing on this barrel, I'll do a video and then I'll show you how I did mine, and then you can kind of follow on if you wish. The smoke dischargers that would go here and here, I've taken them off because I'm going to create my own, because this is very much testing. It's very much a what if vehicle. I've also created my own fuel can basket that has been well and truly crushed up. I use some 0.3 copper wire. I think if I was to do another one, it would be the very last thing that I would do, because it's right in that position where every time you go to pick the turret up, you know, yeah, and it did start being a little bit further out, but it's now got crushed in, so it's a bit of wear and tear. I've got some aerials going in. There's going to be a new machine gun. I've got to find a replacement, which might take some time. I might actually do that this afternoon. I've got some Matchbox 76 scale figures, so I'll see if I've got something in there that I can use to replace that with. That pretty much is as much as I'm going to do on this particular turret. As you can see, I've got some weathering and some rain marks, and I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing just on the edges, so that you got a little bit of chipping and so on, just to give it a little bit more of a worn look. So that can sit on there, and it does look rather effective. Now, as you can see, we've started construction on turret Mark II. Yeah, it's filling in the gaps and everything at the moment, because bearing in mind the age of this kit, when Airfix produced this many years ago, their quality control was a little bit not as good as it could have been. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and this is what we've got to work with, so get on with it. Next job really is to go over these areas that I've done the filling on, just to take them back and make sure everything's okay. You know, we have a slight wonky gun barrel, so I shall dip that into some warm or hot water and see if we can gently coax that into a more straighter line than it is. Now, this is where the imagination is going to take over, especially on this one. Here, I'm going to have a basket, and I'm going to have another basket on here. What's going to go in them? No idea. Whether this section goes on the back, or whether I come up with something else, don't know. But this turret is not necessarily going to be exactly the same as that one. Now, this is where the imagination is going to take over, and there will be people saying they never did that. I know they never did it, but this is an experimental vehicle and things are being tried out, and some things will work and some things won't work. It's the whole point of it. Now, that part is going to go in there because I've got another one of those. I'm working on my own extra piece of equipment device to go on that side. Not entirely sure what it's going to be for, but I'm scratch building that one at the moment. What I'm thinking of, and I think it's more going to be more this side, is when that is in place in here, on top of that I'm going to put a bit of brass sheeting. Now, here goes with the imagination bit. The whole idea is for this extra plate that goes on top is to be a radio controlled helicopter launch pad or landing pad, depending on whether it's going away or coming back, and it's all controlled from within to go off and do reconnaissance and other such things. Whether I have smoke discharges on the front or not, I don't know. I haven't thought about that at the moment. That is work in progress, as the whole of this is work in progress. It's going to be in NATO green, just so it's a little bit different. Then I might come up with something different for a targeting device to go on here. I'm not sure. I'm still working out what I want to do and how I want to do it. It is very much what if. Now, the other thing that I've been doing is I've made up my own tow cables. Now, I did make up some in 0.3 copper wire. By the time you get 4 strands and you've wound it all together, and where the photographs are suggesting is that it goes on here and it goes under this section and above the mudguard or the side skirt or whatever you want to call it, and sits in there, which it does at 0.2, which is what this is. 0.3, it's just a little bit too thick to sit in there convincingly enough to suggest that that's exactly what it should be doing. So the next thing that I've got to do is do some soldered tinning on the ends of the loops. I know that this one needs to be cut down, but this will be a practice one, and so will that, and the same on this one. The idea of doing the tinning is to keep all the wire together and to give it that block end look, that it's in actual fact not just a bit of copper wire, but it's a lump of metal that is been made up into a towing eye. So that is that. Now, to continue on this what if journey, the next idea is upstairs. I've got the German equivalent of the Chieftain, and that would be the Leopard tank. So in this research and development building, barn, shed, outbuilding, whatever, we have a Leopard tank, and the Leopard tank I'm going to repaint, and it's going to be in the original style of the Berlin Brigade camo version. I know that they never did, but on this particular run it's been sent over and they've been asked to do it in this scheme because they want to have a look and see if it's something that they want to use themselves. Highly possible. It could have happened. No one knows. There's no evidence to suggest that it did. There's no evidence to suggest that it didn't. My imagination is running riot. So, to move it on a little bit further, because with that leopard, if I can, the side skirts that's on it at the moment I'm going to try and remove, and I've got another set of these side skirts, so they will go on just as a make it look a little bit different and keep that what if experimental theme going through the whole build. And just to finish it off, I'm going to get myself a 72nd scale T55. What I'm going to do with that and how that actually gets into this particular research and development building, I've not really come up with a good enough idea yet, or a good enough storyline, but it's going to be there. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know yet. I think I'll wait until I actually start building it and see where that goes. Yes, I will do a dio for it because I'm kind of thinking of doing kind of a brick built building that's a bit shabby, that's got these three vehicles in it. I've got an Airfix 176 Land Rover with a trailer, so I think I might use that as well, having that parked outside with a trailer full of bits, shall we say, and see where we go. How long is it going to take me? I've no idea, because I'm doing this at the moment to take my mind off the Northern Ireland Land Rover conversion. I've hit a little bit of a stumbling block, and I'm just putting it to one side just to see what comes into my mind as to how I'm going to get around this little problem. And I'm trying to get the Russian Grad finished, which it nearly is. It just needs a little bit more paintwork doing it, and then that'll be off the bench finally. So this is, for this Chieftain and the extra turret at the moment, is just a fun build. What if artistic license being used heavily throughout the whole of this. Looking at loads of photographs of Chieftain tanks and stealing a few ideas from what I find on the photos to put on this particular one if I can. And I'm kind of fast running out of room because it's teeny tiny. It's not very big. Oh, the other thing that I have done on here, and you may have noticed, is I've got a little bit of just ordinary kitchen tin foil that I'm suggesting is a mud flap, mud guard. I've got the other one to put on. I've stuck that on with some GS Hypo glue, which I find is a really good glue for this sort of thing. And I will paint that with a black rubber kind of colour. And I think that is pretty much it. Oh, I got the bandages. It came in a pack of 4 or a pack of 5 for about £3, maybe £4 on eBay. I don't think I'll need to buy any more because I've got plenty and I can make many camo nets out of it. Let's open it up and then you can have a look at it, because it is it has got, I don't know if it's coming out on the camera, but it has got a nice square netting kind of look to it. And then once you've opened it up and you start to stretch it and tease it out, give it a good pull, and as you can see, it starts to tease out and misshape, and you can then start making a nice bit of camo netting, this is fine for 76 scale. I'm not quite sure what you'd use for 35th, but that works quite nicely. So I think for now I'm gonna bring this video to an end and let you get on with whatever it is that you're getting on with. Firstly, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done so, then please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notifications as to when I upload more content. Secondly, stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, and I will catch you in the next one.